So good morning, everybody. This is Tom from Tom and Ruth Philippine Adventures. Hello, hello, hello. Today we're going to talk about something. I'll get right into it. They say no more intros or outros, any of that stuff. So I'm going to get right into the video. Today we're going to talk about medications. I have cut my medications down, which is I don't take anything anyway. I would take some medicines before, like aspirin, allergy pills. Now, allergy pills are well needed here, believe me, because always things are always blooming, and mango trees and everything else, and there's a lot of blooms going on. So, but for me, my medications have reduced considerably. I've not taken any kind of medicines at all. I don't remember the last time I even took a headache pill, Advil, or anything like that. I have taken it. Although I was sick, as you know, with typhoid and things, and been sick before with the COVID. But I was all right. And I took their medications and was all right. I was not lingering and had to take it for 6 or 8 months. I did take it for like 4 months, so I was really down. But I know that for me, my medications have decreased considerably since I've been here. Was not as if I was taking that much in the States either. I was not taking an Advil every day either. But I'm taking a lot less than I was ever taking before. So whatever that is, if I was taking 4 Advils a quarter, I'm taking 0 Advils a quarter now. I don't have any thing that ails me as much as I did in the States. Of course, now I'm not climbing ladders and climbing on roofs and running around and falling off of roofs and falling down on the roof that I used to do when I had my business, and climbing in the stores and putting up TVs and things like it at Walmart's and H.H. Gregg. But we sometimes don't really realize that. I realized this morning I got up and I don't have anything aching and paining. No aches or pains for me. Now, a lot of this has to do with humidity too. I'm just going to say this, and I may be wrong. I'm no doctor, but I think I know I'm in the out west. I'm in Texas and I'm in Arizona or whatever. I seem to I don't know, humidity. I seem to feel better in humidity than non-humidity. I don't know why. Even though I sweat and I don't like it, but you sweat still in the out in Arizona too. But you can get in the shade and cool off because the sun's not baking. Now here, for an example, you just sweat all the time, whether you're in the shade, whether you're not in the shade. It's like Florida. And people ask me this: what is really the differences between here, temperature-wise, and Florida? For example, to me, it's hotter in Florida than it is here. Now we're close to equator here, so the sun itself is hot. That's when everybody has an umbrella, and they get really hot and it burns them. I think a lot of times too, you have to really look at that and say to yourself, well, okay, should I take an umbrella? Now, I'm not one of these guys. I take an umbrella. I'm not underneath an umbrella. Things like that. Like when it rains, I'm not going to have, unless it's pouring down. If it's sprinkling, I don't worry about it. Although if you see it sprinkling, you better get an umbrella fast here because it's going to pour down and drop 20 inches of water. Because they're in the tropics and it's just that way. The islands are a little bit different to live. Your health is really a big thing that you guys need to look at and you're thinking about that. But as far as aspirins and things like that, I haven't really needed, or indigestion pills or Tums. Now, at one time I was taking those on a regular basis because of stress on the job. But there's stress here too. Don't get me wrong, there's stress here too. You can have as much stress here as you can anywhere. And stress is not just in one spot. You bring stress with you. Stress happens. It's a change of life that causes the stress. It's a change of your normal daily activities that causes the stress, right? Or something you just didn't want normally do causes stress, right? Or something happens to you at the abnormal time causes the stress. Well, here, not too much happens any different. It's a laid-back culture, laid-back mentality, laid-back thought process. If they do a project, they go do it, they get it done. And then again, too, they may take 10 breaks in between time, which is fine. It's not like Puerto Rico. I did work down in Puerto Rico at one time. I was installing a fire alarm system for a Holiday Inn. I had my guys working, and they had siesta times, and then they had the break times and more siesta times. So, but here, they'll get the job done in the time frame, and usually it's fairly quick if you can actually find qualified people to do the job. A lot of times too, that's where we run. Thank goodness we got a couple of family members really smart, laying floors and working on just about anything, and can do just about anything. So it really helps us out. But if you have some families, and guys are asking me, hey, and our family members has actually gone and helped Americans and say, hey, I got my family member can go do this for you and do that for you, and we send them and they accomplished the goals for them, and they're really pleased with the work. So we're lucky that way. But a lot of families don't have it. I mean, a friend of mine needed a roof done on his house, and so we asked our family member if he had time to go do that, and he did it. So you alleviate that stress on getting things done. But like for me, I find that it's not that complicated for me to not get involved in a lot of the daily activities. In other words, if you had a project, pretty well let Ruth handle as much as she can of it, because you don't realize their culture is completely different. Their work ethic is completely different. Their habits are completely different. And what I mean is this: they'll get the job done. Just leave them alone, as long as you tell them the guidelines. Now, you'll have to watch them along the way, meaning, I didn't want that this way, I want it this way. Now, they may listen to you or may not if they understand you. If they understand you, they'll do it their way, the way that you tell them. If they don't understand you, they'll just keep doing it the way they want. Now, they may nod their head, yes, that they understand you, but really overall, they did not understand you. So you need to make sure that you have someone that has the ability to hear the turkeys out there, has the ability to explain your thought and that. And even sometimes I'll have to explain things 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times before I can get the grasp on how I want it to be done. And it's not, this is, their thinking is, it's like somebody told me their thinking is this way, our thinking is this way, and other cultures are thinking this way. But they'll get the job done this way. It's just a little bit different on how they approach it. For an example, they were putting up gutters on a house, and I asked my family member, I says, hey, my nephew, I asked him, I said, hey, how are you doing that? Don't you think you do it we're going to do it this way? Well, my way was okay, and his way was okay, and his way ended up being fine, and it worked out the way that I wanted it to, but he just went around the way of doing it than I thought he was going to do, but it had the same results. And I go, okay, I never thought of it that way. Okay, do it that way. But it's like I have a leak in the garage and just been able to fix this leak. And I told him the other day, I said, can you help me fix this leak? It's when they put the panels together, they didn't snap it. And no matter what we're trying to do, because it's all put together now, it didn't snap. So it's leaking. And it leaks quite a bit. Probably 20 inches, we get a bucket out of the 20 inches, a small bucket. So I said, you fix it. He said, put a new roof on. So their way of fixing it is put a new roof. So instead of buying the tar and buying some type, I've probably spent about $400 or $500 on stuff like the tape from. I even had Tom Shipmer bring him some tape from U.S. to fix it. Elastic tape for RVs. I've used all kinds of sealers. I've done everything. I've used glue. I've used caulk. I've used everything to try to seal that. And it being metal, it's just nothing's working. So I guess I'm just going to have to install a roof over the top of that one to alleviate the problem of that leak. Metal roof probably cost me about $40, $50 to do it, or more, maybe 100, and just eliminate that leak, because you don't want your garage leaking, right? I got my tools and everything in there. So no pills. And my medication, I'm not on medication, but the taking of aspirin and things like that have decreased considerably. God bless everybody, and thank you so much for watching my video.